Alrighty, for anybody that's back in here, sorry about that. I was trying something new. I wanted to go live, put myself on camera, put a face to the voice and the name, but didn't work out today. So we'll give it another shot tomorrow with that. All right, so we're back again. We'll try that again tomorrow. I was trying to put myself, like I said, on camera there. Barry was holding the stream open until I was able to get back and start my streaming. There's some different difficulties behind the scenes with streaming on YouTube and different software. So without getting into all that stuff, strike one. We'll try it again tomorrow, and we'll just go with a traditional move here. What we're doing. So, for anybody that's new to this here, just popping in, it's an open forum, Trade Ideas live Q&A open forum. So fire away any questions you guys have. And, apologize for those technical difficulties in the past there between Barry and I. And, we'll just take it away from here. So clicking around a few things that I have some positions in real fast. Fed trying to give me a boost today. Fed trying to give everybody a boost today, apparently. I have no idea what went on in that meeting. Fed giving Holly a boost today, I guess, even. But obviously, for the moment, buy stocks. We keep up this rate, we're going to have a new all-time high closing. Dan, I did try that, and it did not at all go how I wanted it to go. A couple of reasons. One was I was trying to run a relative volume race with some other parameters in the top list with stocks that were up on the day, up from close, a certain amount of shares traded, so on and so forth. And so on that top list, there was only 2 to 5 stocks coming through at any given time. And I just think because of the market that we were in, just so much chop sideways and kind of no volume, it just didn't pan out how I wanted it to. But it would have worked in a sense. The only other thing that I figured out during it with Andy's help was making sure to check the replace cars so that as stocks came on and off the top list, they also jumped back on and off that race. So some promise there. Rome wasn't built in a day type of stuff. And I'll run it again. So I cut it out after about an hour. It just wasn't adding any value. And it was also really dogging my system with everything else that I had running that day. So, all right. Minian 1, you are the one that wanted a alert for 10% in 10 minutes. So easy. Easy and not easy at the same time. So what I was trying to explain to you is, a top list, we can do those filters and it'll just give you those stocks that have met that criteria and just price and up in X amount of time. If you want it to be an alert window, you then have to attach an alert to it. So you mentioned a 5-minute alert, so we can go our 5-minute high. So 5-minute high. So you can go there, add that alert, click that as a selected alert, unhide or hide unused. Oops. And what was the other thing? Sorry, let me open up that chat again. What did you say? You wanted between $2 and $20. So boom, oops, $2 and $20 and 10% in 10 minutes. So change 10 minutes, add that filter, minimum of 10%. Let's get rid of these other things that are in here. Let's hide unused so we know we've got everything we want. No relative volume. So, all right, real simple. When we come to the summary, we're looking at stocks with a 5-minute high They're between $2 and $20, and the price is up at least 10% in 10 minutes. And we're going to call it up 10%, 10 minutes. I'm going to save it. We're going to bring it over here. This will work both pre, post, and regular markets. Save or share to cloud. Save and share. And bang. There you go. Load that from the cloud. Save it. And you've got it. And that's 1, 2, 3. But I just figured instead of trying to do that with you, I was also trying to set up on camera and a few other things with the stream. And I figured instead of trying to do it there, I knew I was coming live here in a couple of minutes. So kind of a bummer that didn't work out exactly the way I wanted it to. But we'll try it again tomorrow. So sorry, just looking at some of the things that are coming in here. And I'm going to close that chat that we were in before. There we go. Well, easy come, easy go. Sorry, still just looking at some of my positions here as the market starts to come to a roaring close and what I should do here, what I shouldn't do. So, all right, the same deal as always, open forum. So we took care of you on that scan. If you have any other questions, of course, please fire those away. Anybody else with questions, fire those away. It's an open forum here, so do not hesitate to ask. I cannot answer questions that are not asked. Most anything fair game relating to stocks and scanning and trade ideas in general, all fair game in that sense. Always disclaimer, I'm no CMT or anybody with a license or anything like that, so I can give you my 2 cents on what I think about a chart, but take that for whatever it's worth. So something that I had put on my radar, we discussed, I don't know, however many days ago, MGY. Nat gas was moving down overall. This was falling with it. Kind of played for a bounce here, grabbed it here earlier in the day, started to move down. I almost killed the trade. And then I lost track that the Fed was announcing, and that happened. So we'll see what happens there on MGY. Up 50 cents, give or take here. Not going to let it stick, not going to hold on too much longer if it continues to fall back down here. No idea what the Fed said, and I don't really care. So what is the difference between a Momo scanner and a breaking out on volume scanner? Their terms are all relative to what people want to believe. It's like, what's a low float stock? I tend to think of low float stocks as anything under 50 mil in the float. Other people will say 20 mil. It's all kind of subjective. Generally, momentum scanners are stocks, showing you stocks that are breaking out on volume. They're usually hand in hand. Some people will, some people don't need or don't want volume confirmations on, momentum moving up, but generally speaking, they're the same thing as far as I'm concerned. Momentum, moving up, we're breaking out, we could split hairs and say it's breaking out of a range or breaking down a range. So in the end, to me, it's the exact same thing. No dumb questions ever, Peter. Brokerage Plus column, time and force. I have an order that's GDA. What does GDA mean? GDA. Where are you seeing GDA? GDA. Oh, you know what? GDA is probably something on our back end. It's not a GDA. It's not an order per se. It's not like good till cancel. Sorry, I'm trying to go through all my brokerage plus stuff here. It's not a time and force type of thing. It has to do with the order when it went in to the broker, I believe. And was it a limit order? Send me, if you can take a screenshot and send it to me here. Because I don't have anything that looks like that. Under mine, the only thing I have is a day there. And trade ideas.com. I might not have an answer for you right this second. I might have to ask one of the developers what it is. Because there's a lot of, even in the Brokerage Plus window, there's some like back coding and stuff like that. So, um, yeah. All right, perfect. Yeah, email that into me. Sorry, trying to set a price alert here because if this thing continues to dance there, I'm just going to close that for the day, take my money, and go home. All right, sorry, I see. Where is it? Trading Journey, new user app. What would be a good alert to search for stocks to hold overnight? Well, there is no alert that says, "Hey, trade me any which way." It's your trading plan, Trading Journey. What's your trading plan? What gets you into a stock? What gets you out of a stock? Why would you hold a stock overnight? There's no scan that's called "Hold Me Overnight" scan. There never was. There never will be. Um, it all comes to data interpretation. Every single thing, whether it's swing trading or trading live. So I beat beat the dead horse beyond belief here to for the people that are in this stream all the time. But so I have a scan Trading Journey. I call it my evening scan one. All right, I find a lot of my swing setups through this scan. Bring it over here, and I'll share it with you in a moment. There's nothing special about this scan. If we go into the configure, real simple. I am looking at stocks between $4 and $30. I'm actually going to edit this today. Stocks between $4 and $30 anyways, though. Has traded 750,000 shares today. Relative volume is 1. Position in range is 75% above the low of today. And position range 20 day is 25% above the low of that. And then I go through each one of these and I chart them out and I look and I decide what's going to make my short list for watching over the coming days and how that may or may not fit into what I'm doing for trading. But there's no scan that says, this stock's going up tomorrow or the next day. It's a combination of man and human and machine, man and machine, woman and machine, human and machine, whatever. So, I go through each one of these and decide, how does this fit into what I'm doing or not doing? What did Casper's deal fall through to go private or buyout? Must have. And so I look for the charting patterns and things that I like according to what my actual trading plan is that gets me in or gets me out. Like this one here, I almost want to take it going into the close right now, to be honest with you. My concern is that right there. But this tasty gap tells me, we can get really into that gap with some gusto. Might be nice. We're doing 2.25 times normal volume, 1.3 mil shares traded today. These are all things that want to get me in. The only thing that's going to hold me out is the bio and this here and holding bios overnight. So, those are the things that you have to ask yourself. Without a trading plan, all I can say to anybody, if you don't have a trading plan that says, I buy stocks based on this, and when I get in that stock, this is how I share size, this is how I set my stop loss, this is how I plan to manage that trade to the upside. If you are not doing all those things before you press buy, there is zero reason for anybody on this planet to ever buy a stock. Go to Las Vegas and play the roulette table instead. And I know that's kind of harsh, but that's exactly what was told to me when I kept having losing trade after losing trade. Someone asked me, well, why did you get in that stock? I said, I don't know. And they said, well, why the hell would you buy that stock, Chris? And I said, I don't know. They said, you need to reevaluate everything you're doing with trading and not trade until you can answer at least those questions. So with all that said, I'm going to share that scan. And then I'll explain what I personally look for in it. And I see other questions coming in, so I'm going to hit those in a moment. All right, so that's that scan that we're looking at now. And now what do I look for in this scan? I look for stuff exactly like this right here. Two things I look for. One, I like finding these horseshoe ups. Sometimes there's a gap, sometimes there's not, but I'm not playing any kind of gap in this necessarily, just happen to find that. I also like to look for what we call cup and handles. Now, this doesn't have a cup and handle right there, but let's see if I can find us a cup and handle. Here we go. Beautiful example. Now this has been coming through this for a while. I was coming through back here, and it started coming through maybe here again. But a cup and handle is this right here. That's your cup. That's your handle. That's a cup and handle. Cup, handle. And so that's what I find with this. Do I find, holy cow alerts every day? Nope. But I find a few good ones every month that are definitely worth trading and following and all those things like that. So, the most important, you can't do one without the other, really. You can have a trading plan and not scan. You can just, start typing in charts through any, free charting software, something that's out there, and try to find, charts that meet what you're looking for. Or, having a trading plan and then a scan to match that trading plan, that's where, it really comes in all together, and then never deviating from that trading plan. So, clicking through some of these here, I'm not finding a lot of stuff that I'm crazy about off this right now. This is okay, but I'd love to see a base built off this, continues to make these lower lows all through here still. Now if this were to go sideways and continue to push up, then that makes me a little more interested in it. So, twofold, scan and the charting together to say, hey, get me in this trade based on my charting / scan, or excuse me, my charting / plan and the scan itself. I don't look at a lot of other scans other than this anymore. There are a few, but not a ton. Oh, hi, Max. Always playing with my emotions. So hopefully that's helpful in that sense for their trading journey. All right, let's continue. I have a layout with a docked window with a grid of total 6 scans, top list in it. Everything works fine. Have had it for months. Added 2 more scans of grid spots and say the layout this morning. They weren't there, just blank grid spots. Is there a known issue with disappearing docks? Not that I'm aware of, Tixel. I can't think of anything specifically off the top. No one else has come in with that. When you saved it, did you save it to the cloud or did you save it locally though? All right, trading journey. I'm glad you found that helpful, and especially being new. The biggest recommendation I can make to anybody that's new is get in the trading room daily with Barry, whether you're on this side on the stream of the trading room or the other side, or if you are if you're on this side, also make sure you're making the 12 o'clock Q&As and this Q&A with me. We talk about scanning, we talk about charting. Much like Michael Noss, I hammer home the fact of having a trading plan, and that without a trading plan, you might as well just have a dartboard with stock tickers on it and throw darts at the stock board with tickers on it. And I was said some much harsher things to me by some people in the past on things that I was doing with trading. So It is what it is. It's not an easy thing we're doing here trying to trade stocks. And that's why, trading plan is what protects us. You don't just randomly decide, I'll buy 100 shares of this, I'll buy 400 shares of that, 50 shares of that sounds good. I buy based on what I'm willing to risk, based on what I am going to use as my exit plan on the downside. And that's the most important part to me on what I'm getting in a trade is what's my downside risk. I don't want to go chasing anything here now because of Fed day today, and I assume they'll be talking tomorrow because that's what they love to do. But for example, Himax here, all right. I like this here. It's a stock that can definitely move any given time. I got a nice established kind of base in this area here. So if I were to decide to get in it, this is where I would put my stop. I'm risking X, so I'm share sizing based on X down here, based on that risk. So I'm risking, what is it? Right around $10. So I'm risking about around $10. Let's say that stop was, give or take. So I'm risking $1.50 per share. If I was share sizing according to that, that's how I would share size. And so that's a wrap on the market today. Did we close at all-time highs? Almost, just off of it. All right, yeah. So if you got to make sure you save that. And all right, so when you load it from the cloud, it's blank. This side, other side. So there's two sides to this stream. Barry runs it. Barry opens from protradingroom.com. They built us a room, and you can get to that through this here. All right. So through this here, Barry runs a trading room as well. It's more trading centric. There's more tabs to discuss swing trades and I don't know, whatever else, off topic, technical support, all those things like that. So there's plenty to discuss in there on that side. But Barry broadcasts on YouTube or streams on YouTube at the same time. At noon, he gives up the YouTube stream, noon Eastern each day. He gives up the YouTube stream, and one of the other guys that I work with takes over that and does an hour Q&A. Then Barry takes back that stream at 1 Eastern every day, runs up till 3 o'clock, and he shuts down. Although I think me and him are working something out where he's going to go on mute at 3 o'clock to do whatever he needs to do, but leave the stream open, and then I'll just take the stream over when I'm ready at 3:30. And he'll shut down the other room that I just shared there, that side, and this side will stay open with me at 3:30 and getting back on the mic. So that's how we do it. Okay, interesting. Just save local and save to the cloud. If it continues to happen, let us know. There isn't any, there isn't a bug that we're aware of. That doesn't mean there isn't one in general. Are you on, if you go to help and about, what version are you running on? The latest beta is 5.5.52. I'm on a developmental here, so I'm on a different one. And the last production, I believe, is 5.5.32 is the last production. So that'll help give me at least some tools if and when you come in with a ticket to info at trade for troubleshooting that. Is there like an overview of scans to load in the cloud, like examples? Well, we have the channel bar. So we can start there. Get rid of this. And okay, so you got one of those but no, we did have 5.45 as a beta actually, right? All right. Also, you might want to, if you want to upgrade to the latest beta, I'll be honest, I can't remember what we did there because I'm always on a different version than everybody else. I'm always a version or two ahead, testing stuff that's coming down the line here. But so first off, anybody that's a user, if you don't know this already, and you want to know when we're upgrading the software and when you can upgrade, go to Tools, Options, upgrade, and you can either show me only production releases. I highly recommend going to show all releases. You do you. I think, if you're already in the 5.5s, especially, you might as well keep downloading the newest betas. There's always going to be new, quote unquote, fun, exciting tools in there. So you can put this here, all right, and then when you'll click save, and anytime there's a new release, this new here will turn green. And if you click it, you'll see up here, you can't see it now because I'm, above, but you'll see up in this area above alert window, you'll see upgrade now as an option. And that'll take you to the download page. And I'm going to come back to you, yes, please, about what your question is. I'll take you to the download page, and then please do your homework on the download page. When you come to the download page, all right, read the notes, even if you just skim them, all right, on both the production and the beta. So production will always be first. Read these notes. Some of it won't mean anything to you whatsoever, like having to do with C++ and Microsoft. These are just things that we put out there because we made changes, so we're just going to make them public, have to do with Microsoft and stuff like that. Scroll these notes, all right? All these changes are going to be apply, all right? And then scroll down and you'll find beta and download, install the beta, and you'll find some more stuff here in the beta that has changed since the last production. If you don't do that, you wouldn't know that we put the Market Explorer out there for you all to use. External linking changes, you wouldn't know about these. Chart window changes, you wouldn't know about these. So all this stuff comes up, all right, on every one of these. So anyways, that's the short and skinny as far as all that goes. And so I'll kind of just hang out on you there, Tixel, and if it happens again, send us in and with some screenshots and things like that to info@trade-ideas.com. All right, and we'll see if maybe it is a bug for all we know. All right, so back to you. Yes, please. You want to head to get what we have for a quote unquote library of scans. Go to either channel bar or dock channel bar. The difference between the two is some of the scans in the channel bar, or some of the layouts on the channel bar, are too big to put into a docked format for us. So that's why we have the two separate right now. Some good places to head to, and I guess it doesn't really matter if I do anything with my layout at this point. Yeah, it's always tricky because my resolution is different here. Let me do this. Tools, options, layout, open relative to main menu, save. All right. So what I'm going to do here is play with this here. So a great place to come to is our Trader's Vault. All right. And we can check out what's going on here in the Trader's Vault. I'm going to take a month to load. Sorry. Close Trader Workstation. See if that helps me at all. All right, and so there's a whole bunch of scans in here. Now, not knowing what these scans are won't help you. So you can go through each one of these and right-click, come into Configure, and I suggest going to the Windows-specific filters first and looking at what the scan says in here, all right? You can come to Summary. It's just that, then you have to go over each icon to see what the actual icon is versus coming here into the Windows-specific filter and seeing what the scan does, all right? You're going to start to get an idea of what these scans look like. And anything that interests you, you can right-click, save or share to cloud, save those things, all right, that you find interesting. And you can go, channel by channel and look at every single one of them and start to load those things or start to save those things. Once you have saved, a few scans and you have the beginnings of a layout, then you can come to File and Load from Cloud and start. You'll see each one of those individual things here, and you can start to load each one of those and arrange them. So I'm just going to, do this as an exercise here, and we'll go, all right, I want this composite rating. save or share to cloud, save. I want the turbo family up, no resistance, save. Um, rounded bottoms, I want to have that, save, save. All right, so we're right clicking and we're saving the cloud. All right, and that's what I'm selecting. I'm like, all right, that's enough from the Trader's Vault. Let me take a look at, let's see, what's something people like to do these days. Short squeeze. So we come to the short squeeze channel now, and we'll load that. And I'll say, you know what? Hedge funds could be in panic mode. That looks like a good scan. All right, and I'm going to save that to the cloud. All right, and let's see. Let's go to momentum channel now. All right, we want to find some momentum stocks, some momentum plays here. And Extreme Master Blaster. That's a good one to have. All right, so we'll right click. We'll save or share to cloud. We're going to save that. All right, so now I've got a bunch of stuff that I just saved. All right, I'm going to get rid of everything else. We're going to build from just the menu bar now. All right, we're going to go File and Load from Cloud. And all that stuff I just saved is right here. So the composite rating was the first thing. It loads on another window, but here, composite rating. And we're going to go Load from Cloud. All right, and turbo family up, no resistance. That was another one. We're going to move that over here. And we're going to go get all the rest that I just saved. Rounded bottoms. Sorry, they're loading on different screens, so I'll bring them all over in a minute. Hedge funds could be in trouble or whatever it was called. And Extreme Master Blaster, all right? So now I've got all these scans here, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be my layout for at least today, tomorrow, next week, who knows, all right? And I'm going to share, I'm going to size these windows however I think is appropriate. And I'll bring them down here. Let's go like this. Make them nice and neat. And I'm doing this all without docking. We're not going to get into docking for the moment anyways. All right. And so I've got some stuff that's going on here. And then, also I happen to be a premium member, so I want to know what Holly's doing. So I'm going to go to New. And go to Holly, AI Holly Strategy Trades window. And this is going to bring up all the stuff Holly has done today. If I was starting new, it would be blank, obviously. And we're going to size that accordingly. I'm going to shrink this, and what's a layout without charts? So I'm going to go New. And if anybody has questions, fire those questions away for me here, please. All right. I'm doing this exercise to kind of walk through. Anybody that's been trying to figure out how do I set up a layout, I can't tell you what scans to look at, but I can show you how to look for scans, how to save them, and how to load them into a layout. What I'm doing right now. But what's a layout without charts? So let's get I personally like 3 charts, so we're going to go 3 charts for this exercise. So let's get 1, 2. Let's get a 3rd chart because I like to look at 3 time frames. And now you're going to have to, what I'm doing is going to have to be relative to what you want, of course. But, this is the basics of it. All right. And let's size these things up a little bit here. All right. And of course, I don't want to look at, 3 5-minute charts. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I like to break it down. And so everything in Trade Ideas is a right click. Everything. There's not one thing that happens in Trade Ideas that isn't a right click. So there we go. And we're going to right click. And we've got all these things that we can do with charts. All right. We're going to stick to some basics, though. Time frame. I like to look left to right like I'm reading a book. So I go daily this side. And I right click in a time frame. And I want 15 minutes here. And I right click again. And I want 5 minutes here. All right. And I want to leave that like that. And now, if you want to add studies and you want to go down those things like that, indicators, all right, here's where you can add an indicator, what you want it to be. So just for example, I want to see an EMA filter, not a distance from EMA filter, an EMA, actually EMA. So moving average, EMA, your period. Do you want an 8 EMA? Do you want a 13 EMA? Not an 8, 13. 13 EMA. Do you want a 50 EMA? All right, so I can throw a 50 EMA on this chart. And then I can modify the colors here. We're going to go nice red so we can see it here. I'm going to press OK. And I'm going to add that. I'm going to press close. And I don't know why that didn't do what I wanted to do. Indicators, edit. Oh, because I have a million things on here already. So modify that color, set color. There we go. Save. All right. And we can go through and I could say, you know what? I didn't really want that to be a 50 EMA. I wanted that to be an 8 EMA instead. And I can save that like that. All right. And so you have your add here. Here's where you add and you set what you want it to be with these indicators. Then you can edit things here. You know what? I really don't want this SMA. Let's remove that study. And I don't need 2 8 EMAs. I'll remove that. And I don't want a 5 SMA. I'll remove that and save. All right. And so now we're building a whole layout here. Close. All right. And so we can do this with each one of our charts. In properties, I can turn on and off pre-market, all these things like that. Get yourself set up. Rome wasn't built in a day. Your layout will not be built in a day. And I promise you, your layout today will not be the same as your layout a month from now. And that will not be the same as your layout a year from now, most likely. I probably in a little over 4.5 years, I've probably gone through 150 layouts. And there's no reason that you shouldn't change layouts as you continue to adapt and make a trading plan. My trading strategy or my written trading plan is not the same today as it was 2 years ago, which was not the same as it was 4 years ago. I adapt and adjust and grow and all those things like that. So, but you got to start somewhere. So now I've got this. Now, one of the most important tools I think that we offer here at Trade Ideas, our single stock window. I equate a single stock window to, I say baseball cards, but sports cards in general. Anybody that collected any kind of cards, you flip over the card, whether it's baseball or, I don't know, Star Wars cards, Magic the Gathering, they all have stats. Basketball, every card that you ever collect has a stat. Well, stock has stats. But what do I want to look at for stats? In baseball, obviously, we're looking at ERAs and WHIP and all those things for pitchers and RBIs and home runs and OBS and all that stuff for batters, right? Well, what do I want to look at for my batter? My batter is my stock. That's where the single stock window comes in, all right? And so we have all these wonderful data points to show you things. And it's going to default and be loaded with some stuff in here, all right? Things that will always be here. You're always going to have this relative volume, that volume, your change from the close and stuff like that, all right? But what about the rest of these columns here, all right? What do all these mean, all right? What we can do here is we can right-click. Again, everything's a right-click, configure, and we can come in and we can see what columns do we have. So selected columns is what I have for columns, right? On this side are just some quick columns I can add with going left or right on this here. So just for example, I want to add since January 1st. Let's pretend it wasn't there. I highlight it, click it to the left, it comes there. I say, you know what? I really don't care about the market cap. Highlight it, send it back to this side, all right? Here you can order the columns. There's some limitations based on sizing and how you have the window set up and things like that, what can be on the left and right side and how many columns there are and so on and so forth. All right. We can also say, gee, I want to have some RSI, but I don't see RSI as an option. We can come to search and go RSI. And now you have your options. And, I want to say, what's a 15-minute RSI? Show that column. Boom. Now, 15-minute RSI is in my selected columns. All right. And we can go through each and every one of these and we can take it a step further like, well, I don't even know what RSI means. I can click help. And boom, going to take me right to this page here. And you're going to get some definitions. Now, we don't have definitions for every single thing. Like we're not going to tell you how an SMA calculates or an EMA calculates or, things like that. But, whatever your web browser is and your search engine preferred, whether it's Google or DuckDuckGoose or Yahoo or, a way throwback, Lycos, Metacrawler, whatever is out there these days, quick search on any of those web browsers, search engines, and you're going to get some stuff like that. Don't discount the power of YouTube and the knowledge that you can find there. When I first started trading, I had no idea what a Japanese candlestick was. What did I do? I went to YouTube. I Googled Japanese candlesticks, and I found some real simple videos. One guy happens to have a nice Scottish accent and explained them to me like I was a slow Labrador retriever, and I could actually understand what he was telling me, and it was great. So, anybody, I point people to him specifically now and again when, someone's that new. So, but, all these tools exist in and outside of trade ideas. So, anyways, so now we've built a layout, all right? And I'm going to, just size this accordingly, the single stock window, so I can see the data in here. Maybe I got to move this up a little bit. And you don't make all these changes and then just turn your computer off or shut the program down, all right? Now we got to save things, okay? We have two different saves, local and cloud. So I'm trying to get it so it looks relatively nice here. So close, yet so far away. As good as we're getting it. All right, so what do I mean, Chris? What do you mean by local and cloud save outs or saving? So if we come to file, you have load from cloud, save or share to cloud. Then you have load window, load layout, save layout. These ones down here are your local saves, okay? That means when you save through here, it's saved to your machine. When you save here, it's saved to the cloud. And so you would load respectively from where you had saved it. The cloud is great for two reasons. One, this is how we share scans, layouts, charts, whatever we want to share with each other across the platform. So, if you want to load Barry's stuff, you head to Barry's homepage. You can load his stuff through the cloud. Load from cloud, 1, 2, 3, easy. Also, with the cloud, if your house gets struck by lightning and you have your power surge and your computer gets fried, your motherboard gets fried, your hard drive gets fried, whatever, it's saved into the cloud now. It's there till the cloud dies or till the cloud evaporates, whatever. And now you can load it from there if anything like that happens. Your local save is what will start up every time you start trade ideas. So if we were to go to save layout, when you click save layout, this is what will happen every time. You'll get this default underscore layout, all capital letters. If you click save, that will now be the layout that loads up every single time you start trade ideas. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to lose my default layout, but that's how you save it so that's what loads up. I always recommend to people save. Did something happen with Trader Vault channel? Only if you're in the docked channel bar, you won't find it. You have to be in a free floating channel bar to find it. They're my selfie mirror. I highly recommend to people separate layouts. Don't have 10 scans that you like in the pre-market with 5 scans you like in the regular market with 6 scans you like in the post-market. There's not a human being on this planet that can look at 20 scans at once. You show me one and I'll show you a liar, all right? Separate. Have a layout for pre-market. Have a layout for regular market. Have a layout. Yeah, you're very welcome. Have a layout for post-market, okay? You can see right here, I've got my default layout. I have things that I've tested, all right? But I have my evening scan layout and I have my pre-market layout somewhere. I don't know which one of these is my pre-market because I have several pre-market ones from saving over stuff. My point being is section stuff off in a reasonable amount that your human brain can possibly process. Also, scans that work great in the pre-market, odds are probably are not working great in the regular market, which odds are probably not working great in the post-market. There's a reason why there's 3 market times for now, till we go 24 hours. All right? So that's your local save. Now, like I said, saving it as this default underscore layout, all capitals, will be the layout that starts up every time you start trade ideas. But you can save, pre-market and call it whatever you want. Layout for down days, so, I know people and I suggest to people, let's say, we've been in a downtrend and today's another day, we're gapping down. Maybe you have a layout that's built around that kind of market action. We've been in an uptrend, we're gapping up. Maybe you have a layout that's built around that. That doesn't have to be your default layout. You can have 30 layouts for all kinds of situations. So that's that there. Now, if we want to save it to the cloud, file, save or share to cloud. All right. There's a button right here, entire layout. We can click it and then we can label it whatever we want to label here and save, and we're done. You can also save each individual window, whether it's the charts, the single stock window, the scans, right click, save or share to cloud. All right. By clicking that, and then you could always click entire layout from here too, or you can just get the one scan, all right, and save it, and boom, you're done. And so you have it all, together, saved individually and as a conglomerate as a layout. In the end, we provide a lot of scans through all of this. Also, if you're bored and want to go through on our YouTube channel, we have tons and tons of webinars that Steve, Andy, Jamie, Dan, Brad have been doing for 5 years, I guess now. There are a lot of scans in there. Not all of them exist anymore, but you can go through any one of those, and if you're ever, hey, you guys are talking about scan XYZ in this, video, does that still exist? We'll see if it still exists. We'll send you a cloud link to it if it does. All right. If it's something that we personally use as a scanner, as long as it's a Trade Ideas employee, we're happy to share anything that we've ever built with you guys if it still exists in the cloud. What we can't do is, constantly there are, people that are Trade Ideas users that have their own channels and their own, trading rooms and things like that. We cannot share their scans. What they've created is their proprietary sets of filters and alerts and things like that. We cannot go into their account and give you that stuff. So that's, where we have to draw a line. Kirk, how do I clear my drawings off my scanner's charts? Yes, that's a good one. So let's just say I drew a horizontal line, boom, click that horizontal line, press delete, gone. To get rid of an indicator, you would go to indicators, edit, click that indicator, click remove, gone. And then save it, of course. Same thing with, text annotation. Here we go, text, all right. And again, click, delete, gone. Let's see. I'm going to call you Ella for short, or I'm going to call you L for short. Can I find the channel that shows you when stocks are moving? It says stock is running up in 5 minutes. Need help locating it because I can't find it anymore. Do you have a screenshot of what that might look like? There's so many channels, and there's so many scans. I mean, we could go, it might be Alpha Predator. So, actions heating up, Alpha Predator. I don't know if there's one that's just called that. Explosive Winners, maybe. I mean, you might have to just go channel by channel if it's in a channel. Is your biggest percents today, week, year on the gainers. Stock surging, maybe. Actions heating up right now. Most upward momentum right now. High volume movers. What else do we got that might be in there? Not going to be any of these guys. I mean, aside from that, we could always build something, based on 5 minutes. So we could go new. So if we go to new, we can go search 5 minutes, and there's all kinds of things in 5 minutes. We could build something that we want based on 5 minutes, 5 minute volume, 5 minute change percent, position in 5 days. Yes, we can just unlink the charts. So right click, We go to, where is it? Symbol linking. Oh, properties. Symbol linking for charts is under properties. So symbol linking, link to all, link only to green. We can unlink, so we can uncheck it. We can check it. We can have it linked, so we can have different things linked. So for example, we can go properties, symbol linking, and green. And now I can make this symbol linking and the scan green. So now if I do this, all right, that'll change with that. But now watch. That didn't go at all. Sorry, symbol linking, green. Now, this won't move if I click this, right? And if I do this here, symbol linking, red. All right, so now this chart only moves when I click on this. This chart's linked to everything, so it'll move when I click anything. And so you can mess around with the symbol linking in there and group things. So yeah, L. Sorry, I gotta log out. Gee, people in the support chat, they must not like me. Sorry, I'm peeking in these chats that Andy and Steve are in. Okay, I see two of you are in here now. Excellent. When it comes to that, I mean, we can go channel by channel. If it exists, it's going to be in there. So we're on stock surging, so it's not anything about 5 minutes. I don't think Buzz is going to have anything about 5 minutes. I got another minute that I can stick around here and pile through these with you. Definitely not the strengths, definitely not the SPACs, but we'll click SPAC anyways just for fun. Sorry, I'm looking something in the back here to see if I can find what you're talking about. Up 5% for the day on high volume. Is that what you're talking about, El? Yeah, I know that channels can trip up new users for sure. 2 questions above. Sorry. Okay, I can save that link and go in every day if I want. Also, do I save this YouTube channel or does it change each day? I'm really just looking for open forum Q&A like this. Yeah, no, subscribe to the channel. 100% subscribe to this channel. You have Midian, you have this, and then also the other side that I shared that link with before for the other side of the room. Like I said, that side of the room is now closed. Barry closed that already. But there's more traders in the other room, but the Q&A happens on this side of the stream. And yeah, once when you save that, you can load that anytime you want. Just where you save it is where you'll load it from, whatever it is that you're saving, whether you saved it to the cloud or you saved it to your local settings, to your local. Okay, so I think sorry, the traders all channel, make sure. I think got Kirk. Okay, Kirk is all set. I think Midian, I covered you now, but if I missed something or I misunderstood you, Midian, throw another question in there for me. Nope, that's not it. What was the color change when you right-clicked the ticker on the channel bar? I'm not sure. The color change, what you mean? KR, I'll take a look at that in just a second here. So I'm trying to see if I can help L here with that 5% thing. Hmm. So I'm cheating and I'm looking at everything that L has looked at recently. I don't see anything 5% other than the one I mentioned. Hmm. I see extreme move up greater than 3% in 15 minutes. Down 5% for the day on high relative volume, up 5% for the day on high volume. That's what I see right now. Oh, okay, it was just another alert window. Um, Earnings. Nope, that's not it. It's minutes. All right. Count builder. Check the trader's vault again here. Please don't explode, computer. You got to make it till the spring. No, nothing here. Consecutive 15-minute candles. Trend change pro. Nope. Enjoy the show. No, Dan likes this channel. Nope. Mm, I don't figure it's penny movers, but you can always look there. Nope. No, I'm not seeing it. Sorry, L. All right, sorry. But we can always, we can build something here. So, top list. Um, let's get rid of that. I don't know what you want for price range, but we'll go 4 to 100 for doing this here. Go to search, 5 minutes. And so we can go change 5 minutes in a percent. We can add that filter and we could say a minimum 3% change in 5 minutes. Because it's going to be, going to be something linked. All right, because believe it or not, I will think about this for forever. Things like this, when I can't find something, for some reason, I always get hung up on things like this. But we could go, stocks change 3% in 5 minutes. We could add some relative volume. What's 3%? 3 on the relative volume. Maybe let's add 150,000 shares today, and we can call it change 5 minutes. And An important thing that people don't understand about top lists is they sort three ways. We have our server sort that's in the configure window. What do you mean by server sort? This is what I mean by server sort. When the stocks that get returned to this return, the server is going to decide what order to bring those in. All right. And if more stocks meet the criteria of the scan, then can populate the scan at once, it's going to pull the stocks on the sort first. So, you're talking about a change in 5 minutes. So we're going to sort on change from 5 minutes. So the things that are moving the most in 5 minutes is what we're going to display, what we're going to pull from the server first. Okay. So that's one. That's one sort number one. Sort number two is our display sort. Okay. So right now, because of relative volume, we're not finding anything in live always. But if we go to live during market hours, that was the last thing that's going to populate on there. For this exercise, I'm going to get rid of that relative volume filter because I want to see more stuff if it's possible. All right. Now, if, for example, there's more stocks that come on here, we'd have to, the server decides what we're going to see based on our filter criteria in that server sort. Then there's the display sort. Right now, this is display sorting based on volume percent today. So it's going highest volume percent today to lowest volume percent today. So that's our display sort. It's color coding right now. If we right click and come to properties, select color, it's color coding based on change from percent. So I personally like to have everything line up nice and neat. So if I'm displaying by 5 minute change, I want my color for 5 minute change. So 5 minute change. Where are you? 5 minute change percent. Okay. So now we're displaying on that. Okay. We're sorting from the server on that, or we're color sorting. And now we're going to display that, but it's not a column here. So we got to come back to the configure, go to columns, and we got to look for 5 minute, and we're going to add that as a column here. All right. If it didn't happen to be here, we would come back to search and search for that and then show the column that way. All right. So now we have that as a column on top of everything else. And now this is how we're displaying. Okay. And let's see if we can get some more stocks to populate in here real fast. A few more. So, all right. So now we're sorting based on 5 minute percent. We're displaying based on 5 minute percent, and we're color coding based on 5 minute percent. And so it looks nice and even, just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back together how I originally put it for you. And you can take this and make it whatever you like from there. We're going to save and share to cloud. We're going to copy. We're going to paste. And there you go. And you can take that scan and make it your own. Again, I throw out there are filters and alerts that do not work in the pre-market and post-market. There are also filters and alerts that do not work in the regular market time. We have a PDF that lists all of those. So you can send an email to us here, info@trade-ideas.com. Ask, hey, may I please get that PDF that talks about what works in the pre-market and doesn't? The general rule of thumb is this. If it works in the pre-market, it also works in the post-market, unless it specifically says pre-market or post-market. Obviously, pre-market high does not, or new pre-market high does not work in the post-market. Obviously, new post-market high does not work in the post-market. Okay. But for example, 5 minute high alert will work pre, post, and regular market, even though that PDF only talks about what works in the pre-market. All right. Okay. So you asked me to look at something here. Load layout. And I'm going to hit these last questions and I have to run. So let me bring over a chart while I load my kind of charts here. Okay, what were we looking at here? ESSC. That's like one of those crazy stocks recently, right? Come on, my little engine that could. Okay, so no idea whether you're long, short, or just interested in it, but what you now have is a whole bunch of bag holders here. Obviously, this was news because I don't see an earnings on the chart here. All right. And now you have all these people that are going to be trapped up here. So, unless more news comes out to get more people interested in the stock, every time this price rises here, you better believe that all these people that are with foxhole prayer saying, God, please get me out of this. $100 loss is fine. $1,000 loss is fine. A $50 loss, whatever it is, whatever their quote unquote minimum loss are willing to take while they're bag holding up here. All this supply is going to meet that demand here. There's no way to really know when supply and demand have evened out and now demand becomes higher, pushing the price of that stock higher. All right. But what you know is there was a news catalyst that did that. Odds are there's going to need to be another news catalyst or something to drive interest that again. Otherwise, it's just going to be a one-day pump and we're all done. And from once it came is where it's going. All right. That's my 2 cents there. That's how I read a chart like that. If you're in the stock already, manage your risk. If you didn't have a stop and you were at a loss already, figure out what's getting you out now because it can only get worse from here, unfortunately. That's generally how these things work. Again, at this point, if you're holding it and you had bought up here, you're praying for a news release that's going to bring you back up here or something. But, you have this massive volume here. You ain't got a whole lot of volume here compared to that today. And odds are that volume is going to be less tomorrow. All right. So it's just kind of unfortunate in the way it goes. But that's my 2 cents there. I wouldn't touch it with your money as far as my trading goes. Now, if it's something you're interested in, you're not trading it, well, then you start to look at more recent kind of stuff. So on a 15-minute chart, we get the spike, we come back down here, revision to the mean, if you will. We established a nice base here today, and maybe we can work off this base and maybe push back towards that 20 level, actually. I will say that this level in here is going to be tough. I drew it in between these wicks because when we draw pivot lines, they're approximations. They're not exacts. So, maybe you're going to get some resistance here. Maybe you're going to get some resistance there. No way to really know other than the price action meeting that. And so that's the short and skinny. All I can really add to that. QNRX. If it's similar looking, it's the exact same thing. Well, QNRX, that looks terrible. There's just nothing to look at here. You had a gap up and just gave it up completely, not even close to similar. I'm going to suspect that this has support around 0 at this point. It's pharmaceutical, so you're going to be news driven, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, blah, 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 blah. So unless you know something about the drug pipeline of this, their business model or anything like that, look how many red candles you have in a row here on daily. There's no reason that can't do that again. So just kind of is what it is. I've got nothing to add to that. Massive amount of volume in it. Let me bring this over here. So I'm flying blind without the back of my card here. Mass amount of volume in it today compared to normal. I mean, look at this thing. 250 times its normal volume over 10 days and 17 mil shares traded today. So obviously they had some news today because earnings back there, and earnings isn't even a blip on the volume radar compared to what this did here. So again, you've established maybe a new recent high at that $5 if you sideways build and maybe get some move up here. But again, your pharmaceutical, bio, whatever it is, you're very news driven on it. So that's all I have to add for you there, KR, as far as that goes. I like color sorting tip. Okay, good to know. How do I set up? There's no auto update. You just come to tools, um, options, upgrade, and select all releases and then save it. And every time there's a new release, this new will become a bold, bright green for you. All right, there, Midian. And Chris, I want to know pump and dump behind the scenes. Is there a way? There's no news yesterday on ESSC. Again, I don't look at news and I don't pay attention to this stuff like that. So, I mean, all I can say is, um, you had a low float stock here. All right, it was already trending up for whatever reason, so probably there was news back here, and this thing just got revved and going here, essentially. So there might, the news could have been days old. All right. Look, you have this original volume spike that happens here. So I suspect there was some kind of news that was going on there, something that happened. It's an acquisition corporation too. So I don't know what they're acquiring or what they're looking to take public and what they're going to technically become. So I suspect that this is all leading into that. So there's no way to catch this move, based on this stuff in here. At the end, it's going to be price action and volume. You're going to make a scan that's got, whatever kind of volume you want to look at, whether you want it to be relative, 1 minute, 5 minute, combination thereof. There's no magic scan that's really going to catch that in that sense. I know Barry's option scanner caught it at 18 or 19 or 17. I don't even know anymore. But and keeping this in mind, by the time news gets released, you're already way behind. All right, there was 100 or more people that knew about that news before you ever were going to find out about it, no matter what. And I don't care what breaking desk you have for news. If you got a Bloomberg terminal, there's still 100 people that knew about it before you. So you're still trading behind the news at the end. Let's see. I want to. It's manipulated behind. There's no way to know how it's manipulated behind the scenes. That's why insider trading like that is caught rare and few in between. Just trade the charts, trade the price action and the volume on it. KR. If you're trying to find things like that, you're gonna find yourself on the wrong side of it 9 out of 10 times. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm speaking from the probably millions of people that have blown up their accounts trying to trade like that. What green? It'll be this. This up here. This new on the menu bar will turn green when there's a new version, as long as you have it set for all versions, not just the production version. Every time we come out with something new, that's going green for you. So, and KR, that's not to discourage you from trying to trade things like that. But trying to trade something like that, you're gonna want some kind of scanner that's gonna involve big volume, some kind of price movement, whether it's a breaking resistance alert or a new high alert, something like that. And you're gonna have to pull up the chart. No, you should not avoid new beta versions. You should always download the newest beta version. In my personal opinion, you should always be on the beta version. That's just my personal opinion. There's nothing wrong with the production versions. They're production for a reason. Generally speaking, there's nothing wrong with the beta version. I would say this. If you're downloading and you're always running the new beta version, load it up an hour or two before you plan on trading, okay? Click around, do some stuff, quote unquote, put it through the ringer. Load up your layout, click a bunch of stocks, maybe load a new chart, close the new chart, load a new single stock window, close a new single stock window, just to see if anything funky happens before your quote unquote trading day starts. My trading day doesn't start till about 9:45, 9:50, 10 o'clock Eastern, depending on what's going on. Other people's trading day starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. Other people's trading day starts at noon Eastern. Whatever happens to be your quote unquote trading day, start it up, give yourself an hour beforehand so that if anything was going to happen, it happens while you're not trading. And so back to you, KR. That's my suggestion there. Barry has a lot of scans that pick up moves that are very similar to this. I'll share Barry's homepage here, and then I got to walk everybody out because I'm way over time right now. So here's Barry's homepage. All right, copy, paste. All right, so there's Barry's homepage. You can scroll down here. All right, scans, click. Here's a list. You get the cloud links to every one of them. There's your cloud link. Copy, paste, move it over, whatever the scan is. Barry literally has a scan for everything. I mean, I'll be honest, a lot of times people ask me for a scan doing something. I'm coming to Barry's page to give it to them because I don't have a scan for everything. I don't trade gap up reversals and stuff like that. I don't, just I just don't have it. That's all there is to it. Gap continuation or reversal, lifetime lows, halts and resumes, pre-market actives, up, down. All right, gap down shared, gap up shared, low floaters on the move. If you want Barry's single stock window, earnings down, earnings up, bouncers and toppers, momentum down, momentum up, biggest pull up losers, biggest pullback winners, literally everything that Barry has is there. And I will put Barry scans up against any of those Yahoos on YouTube that are using our scanners and trying to sell you their settings. All right. If you have a scan idea that's not something insanely ridiculous and you're not looking for us to optimize and back test it, send us an email. We'll build you a template to something and then send it back to you with a cloud link and say, based on what you asked for, here's something we can point you towards and you take it and run with it from there. All right. With all that said, I thank everybody for the interactions today. This is the stuff that makes a solid trading community, not someone telling you what to buy, sell, hold, or do, but talking about having a trading plan, talking about how scans get implemented into that trading plan. Okay. These are the things that make a trading community. If someone's trying to sell you on a scan, believe me, they're selling you something you don't want. All right. Make these, attend the trading room with Barry, ask questions. There are no stupid questions. The only dumb question is a question that wasn't asked. You got to ask a question 5 times to get the answer you want. So be it. That's the way it is. All right. That's why I'm here to help. It works well for me with the way that I trade, that I can do things like this. Come in here for an hour at the end of each day, give or take. Steve, Andy, Jamie, Sean, Michael, at noon, each one of them brings something different and unique to the table every single day, but they're going to tell you some of the same stuff that I say. A scan without a trading plan is 100% useless. You could have the greatest scan that alerts you to everything before it runs, and you get in as it's running, and then every one of those turns around 20 minutes later and is a loser. Well, every one of them was in the money, but you didn't have a plan to manage that trade when you were in it. Journal your trades. Write down every trade that you have. Look up trading journals online if you want to, whatever you want to do. All right. These are the things. That's the hard work. That's what trading is, building your own business. That's how you build a business plan, a trading plan. So please, everybody, come back here. Check us out every day, 3:30 Eastern. Barry has this side of the room open at 9 Eastern every day. He opens the other side of the room at 8 Eastern every day. There is a lot of live coverage here for you, wall to wall. All right. Thank you, everybody, for the interactions. I truly, truly appreciate every one of you coming in here and interacting every day. All right. Thank you. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. And we will catch you tomorrow, Thursday, 3:30 Eastern right here. Take care and good night.